Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today's Tuesday, July 28th, 2020. We're in the final hour of the trading day, my most favorite time of the day to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions taking control of the prices away from the day traders and algorithms. They're dealing with the most money, very smart people, best technology, best information, and they start deciding what they want to do at the end of the day, and it moves the prices. It takes control away from the day traders and the algorithms. So that I consider smart money, and that's why I like to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades right in the last hour, particularly in the last few minutes. So anyway, thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate it. I always look forward to seeing everyone. I'm very grateful that we have such a great group. So thank you for coming and investing your time. I hope you're getting some kind of return on your time investment, and it's helping with your trading and your investing. So let's take a look. Hey, Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you, my friend. Always nice to have you here. And thank you for sending the scan today. And Dan is here. Hey, Dan. Dan says, hi, Greg and Gossett Trading Group. Hello, Dan. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming. All right. Well, currently, the Dow Jones is down 85 points, down 0.32%. The NASDAQ is down 69 points, down 0.66%. And the S&P is down about 5, down 0.15%. So it's been kind of a crazy day all over the place. And so we will take a look as we get going in the show. So listen, here's the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward, either to the upside or the downside. After that, we are going to take a look at a few of my day trades that I have today, and I'll explain how I entered those and what my thinking was and what setup I was using. After that, some of you have been kind enough to share your trades with me. We have them up on the board. We're going to go through, take a look, see how they're doing. I see a few of them are doing really well today. Then we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about some trading psychology, just as important than as talking about charts and indicators and entries and exits and technicals. Yes, that's important, but really the longer you've been trading, the more you'll realize that the most important part is the trading psychology, building a plan, following your plan, and the challenges that you encounter with trying to follow that plan. After that, I've gone down through my watch list. I've also taken a look at Kamal's scanner, and so I do have some potential new trade candidates at the end of the day. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a trade. First requirement, I have to make sure I have a confluence or combination of indicators. I look at each indicator as a group of buyers, and you're going to improve your chances of having a profitable trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. So that's how do I do that? I look for a confluence or combination of indicators. Number 2, just as important as number 1, even if you have a great confluence of indicators, you have to take a look and calibrate and decide, is this a good risk to reward ratio? I want to make at least 2 times to the upside than I am willing to lose to the downside based upon valid support below me and based upon technicals, likely resistance above me. And then step number 3, always make sure, take a look, take a few minutes, take a look, say, how many positions do I have? How correlated are they? Do they have a lot of tech? Oh, here's another tech one. But I already maybe have 2 techs, right? Best to keep it as diverse as possible. You have the least amount of correlation as possible. Have stocks that are non-correlated, right? So always keep in mind, sometimes we get excited and we bias, we'll add a new position, and then after we'll realize, man, I have 4 healthcare positions. It's probably not a good idea. Try to even it out. So I'm going to go through that list, going to narrow it down to a couple end of day candidates, and then at the end of the day, I'm going to go through those finalists, those final candidates, and try to narrow it down to the very, very best one, keeping in mind risk to reward, confluence of indicators, and correlation. Then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me whatsoever, please let me know. If you'd like me to take a look at any stock symbols, please let me know. If there's any stock symbols that you'd like me to look at before the market closes and you'd like to get my opinion on, put them in the chat, put an asterisk by it, put an emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive. I'll do my best to get to it. And then if you could please wait, if you have any new entries or exits for me today that you want to get up on the board, if you could please wait till the end of the day, until the market's closed so the pressure's off and I have time to get them all marked up correctly. Okay, so that's the plan. So if you could hang tight for about 40 seconds, I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer and I will be back. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, well, it looks like we have a little selling coming into the market here. Frank is here. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Missed you yesterday. As I was going through the routine, I was like, wait, I don't have a poem. I don't even know what to do. I don't even feel like I can go forward after this. It got me out of my routine. So glad to have you back, my friend. And it looks like we have a poem. Some trades may seem oh so dull, but don't get deceived by the lull. Not all that glitters is gold, nor all winds dynamic and bold. A trade can be hot even if the action simply is not. That is for sure. You know, those of you have are regulars here, you know that when the markets are going sideways and doing nothing, that's really what makes me most interested, is when they're dull, not when they're have a lot of momentum up to the upside. I don't like to chase. I like to buy things when they are consolidating, moving sideways. So let's try it again one more time. Some trades may seem oh so dull, but don't be deceived by the lull. Not all that glitters is gold, nor all winds dynamic and bold. A trade can be hot even if the action simply is not. So great. So great. Thank you so much, Frank. Hey, Steve Burns, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day with the dogs and Holly. And looks like you have some good trades going on today. So we will definitely cover those when we start getting into the positions. But thank you so much, Steve. It's always an honor and privilege to have you here, sir. And I appreciate it. Okay, let me take a little looky-see over here, see what's happening. All right. All right, well, here we go. Futu, I think, is Kamal in Futu with me? I can't remember. I don't have it here. Maybe I erased it. I kind of felt like he was, but I'm not sure. I did buy Futu back here on the 24th of July. I bought it at 28.53. We had a nice bullish engulfing bar. We had a V1. We had a false breakout to the downside. Went up yesterday. I can't remember if I hit a profit target or not. I think I did. Pretty sure I did. It is up today 0.84%, but has not hit a profit target. This orange line here, this is 1 ATR for my entry. So as soon as it moves, hopefully gets that high, then I will institute a trailing stop so that I don't give back all the profits and I can lock in some profits, but not quite there yet, but up on the trade. Chris S is here. Hey, Chris. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you so much for coming. All right, SPY. Okay. Real quick, I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. I do this based upon a long-term back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. Since 1993, they tested two approaches. First approach, buy the SPY at the open in the morning, hold it through the day, sell it at the close in the afternoon. If you use this approach every day since 1993, you'd have returned a negative 13.9% return. However, if you do the opposite, which is what I do every day, I wait till the end of the day, I buy it right before the close, I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. That's where I feel like the edge is in this approach, and I sell it the first thing the next morning. This approach, positive 634.2. The first approach, negative 13.9. So what this really means is we know that the stock market has gone up since 1993, obviously, but it's gone down intraday. All the gains came in after hours. All the gains came from holding it after hours, taking the risk. Past performance is no guarantee of future results, does not mean it's going to work in the future, but over time, it has done very well. You can see the blue lines, the buy in the afternoon, sell the next morning. Over time, all it has done is gone up, 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 up. There are definitely large drawdowns associated with it, but just like buying and holding the S&P, there's large drawdowns, right? It's basically like I hold the S&P every single day. It's like I'm a buyer and holder of the S&P. The only difference is I only hold it during the nighttime. So I did buy the SPY yesterday at 323.22, and I did take a loss on it this morning. I sold it this morning at 322.45. So I got in at 323.22. I got in at out at 322.45. So it took about 70-cent loss overnight. I will buy this again today at the close of the market. Okay, well, this is a great example of what Frank's poem talked about in buying when things are dull, when they're not doing anything. I did buy XLRE along with Gary, Quad, and Kamal. Bought it here with this bullish engulfing bar. Oh, sorry. This was the first trade. I think Gary and Quad bought back here. I bought it yesterday at 35.18. Same signal. Bullish engulfing bar, V1. Bought it here at 35.18. I was hoping that today it would take this fractal out, which it did. Fractal is a high with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. Again, bought it at 35.18, and look at this go today. Holy smokes. Up 2.24%. I did hit 1, 2, 3 profit targets. It's hard to hit 3 profit targets, so that's good. So it is above the 1.8. It has moved more than 1 ATR from my entry. Normally, I would then trail it with the close below the previous day's low, but we have gotten above the 200-day moving average. So I'm going to move my stop up here now to the 200-day moving average. So that gives me better risk to reward. I don't want to have to go all the way back here, obviously, right? So this is a valid support, the 200-day moving average, very, very valid, legitimate support. So from here on out, if I close below the 200-day moving average, I will go ahead and exit the trade and lock in profits. But very, very good trade here. Very happy for that. Fast, Steve, Frank, Miko, Kamal, and myself did buy. I think Kamal bought down here. He got a better price at 31.65. The rest of us bought FAS when we had the 520 crossover. This is a good back tested approach. Bought it here at 33.98. I did only buy a half a position. I was waiting for a little backfill, but I never quite got the price. But sometimes when it gets extended, I'll only buy a half of the position and see if I can get a little backfill to make whole my position. But in this case it didn't happen, but I'm still happy because it's up. Bought it at 33.98. It's moved up. Every time it moves up, I do get out some profit targets. It is up today nicely. Not quite yet a profit target, but anyway, so far we're all up on the trade. So congratulations to us. USO, all right, this has been a slow boat to China trade, but when you have weekly trades, this is generally what happens. I did buy USO on the weekly. I've held it for over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 month and a half. I bought it here at 28.40, V1 under 30, over 30, under the negative third channel, over the negative third channel, and MACD crossover. So 28.40 right now. It's 29.32, so just under $1 profit, but I'll take it. I do like to have some diversification in my time frames. I like to trade on the weeklies. I like to mix it up with dailies, and then I also like to mix it up with my day trades. But anyway, that one's going fine. All right, now let's get to the day trades. I did short Apple back here. This is a 5-minute bar. We had a lower high. See, here's the previous high. Here we have a lower high and triggered a nice V1 to the downside. I did it right when it, no, sorry. It came down and I thought, it's a little far from the entry. I waited to see if we would get a bounce intrabar, and we did. And right here, I just happened to get lucky. I was kind of waiting for halfway mark, but I was like, nah, it's pretty close. I got filled here at 376.03 on the short, so I shorted 376.03. Went down, went down, went down. Here we had a bullish engulfing bar, V1, rejection of the 1 ATR channel, so I covered at 374.94. So I got in at 376.03, got out at 374.94. So over $1 on that one, which is good. Look at this right here on the 5-minute on Apple. Look, I mean, if I wasn't teaching right now, I would consider buying that if it closed back over the 200, because here you have, oh, no, there it goes. The 200 and the negative third ATR channel. These are two big levels of support on the 5 minutes, but it looks like it's losing it. So never mind. Intel. That's not Intel. Ugh, the VIX. The VIX and I have battled today. Here we go. This is the 5-minute on Intel. Here we have the alligator sleeping. Here's a fractal with a high. I did buy it. It got away from me here. I waited to see if we'd get a little bit of a pullback. I did get it here, 49.84. Immediately went up, and then here it had moved more than 1 ATR for my entry and closed below the low. So I got in at 49.84, got out at 49.93. So not a big one, but I will take it. And then lastly, VIX. The VIX and I, we have a thing going on right now. There's a thing going on with us. Okay, so I did buy VIX. This is the 5-minute bar. We went under 30, over 30. I bought it here at 28.59. Moved up nicely for me. Up. I did get out here when we had a false breakout to the upside, V1 to the downside. So I got in at 28.59 and I got out at 28.65. Then I had another under 30, over 30. I got in at 28.47 and immediately it went my way and then just collapsed. So I got in at 28.47 and I got out at 28.37. So I lost 10 cents on that one. And then I decided I wanted to do it again. Under 30, over 30. I got it here at 28.28. I was in this trade forever. For a 5-minute bar. It went up and I was like, okay, good. And then it went down. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to get out. And then it recovered and then it came back down and then it went up. And then finally here, I had enough when we had the V1 to the downside. And so I did get in at 28.28 and I got out at 20.34. And then what do you think happened? Oh, there you go. Yep. Well, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. This is looking a little toppy here. So all in all, profitable on the day trades. Only had the one loser, which I'm grateful for. So all in all, good day today. Really, all in all, a really great day. Okay. Scott Trades. Hey, Greg, back for the stream. Hope everyone is having a great day. Kind of a chop fest, in my humble opinion. Yes, I agree. Nice to have you, Scott. And listen, if everyone there in the group, if they haven't checked out at Scott Trades, it's at Scott Trades, right? Yep. On Twitter, do yourself a favor. Scott's a great guy. He has a great channel, a lot of followers, good information. So it's at Scott Trades on Twitter. So thank you for coming by, Scott. Always nice to see you. I hope you can come again. Quad Racer says, good afternoon, Greg and group. Good afternoon, Quad. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Frank says, Scott Trades, thumbs up and a love. Yep. Frank knows what good channels are, and they are Scott Trades. So look up Scott Trades on Twitter. David, hey, buddy, how you doing? Good to see you. Are we on for Friday? I know you're on vacation, or we're on vacation. I'm not sure, but I hope you're doing well, my friend. Dan says, I'm funny. Oh, good to see you, Dan. Dan says, I'm funny. I recently got Steve Burns' book, Calm Trader. Yes, I've read it. I need to take a breath and read it. I'm a little not calm about reading it, wondering if I too will become fearless like you all. Well, I am not fearless. I'm super fearful, Dan, to be honest with you. That's what trading's taught me over the 24 years. So I don't know if anyone else, maybe I'm just not zen enough to not be fearful, but honestly, I think having fear, Larry Williams taught me when I studied with him, he said, Greg, I'm scared of every single trade. And the reason I'm scared of every trade is not to be negative, but it just primes me so that if I'm wrong, I get out quickly. If I think I'm going to have a positive trade and it goes against me, then I'm kind of battling that I thought it was going to be good, and it may take me longer to get out. Does that make sense? So his approach is that he's really scared of every single trade, which you should be, right? I mean, because if you're scared of the trade and it goes against you, you go, aha, I was right. And you will get out. So, whatever it takes, right? We have to play mind games, but I am not fearless at all. Evan, but hope you get that book down. It's a great book. Evan, good afternoon. Good to see you, buddy. Gary M, good afternoon, Greg and group. Hey, Gary M, nice to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for coming. Bob is here. Hey, Bob. Okay. Everyone interested in taking a look at your current trades. Let's start off. Brian M did buy Sherwin-Williams yesterday. He bought it at $627.97. He did hold through earnings, and I don't know if you got out at the open. I kind of hope, but who knows? It is still up 1.72%, but well off of its high. So it did get sold into. Looks like they probably had good earnings, but anyway, you took the risk, held through earnings, and this time it paid off, Brian. So congratulations. KMX, Steve Burns and Bob did buy KMX back here on the 15th of July at 94.90 with the 520 crossover. Started out, just kind of moved sideways. We had one little fake out down bar day, but it has gone up since then. So looks like the two of you, Steve and Bob, bought it at 94.90. It's 97.90. So 3 points, almost to the penny. So congratulations, both of you. Let me just do a quick here and see how high we got RSI wise, Steve. About 66 on the high today for the RSI. PayPal, Bob, David, and Brian did buy PayPal back here at 174.01. Looks like this higher low V2 initially went up nicely, moved sideways, had that big down bar, followed through a little bit to the downside. Yesterday was a nice big up bar. It was up earlier in the day and then reversed, but all three of them still profitable on the trade, so that's good. Okay, IWM, that is Steve and Frank. Steve and Frank bought IWM, Russell 2000, holding above the 200-day. They bought it with a 1030 SMA crossover, good back-tested moving average crossover for the IWM, bought it at 146.16. Initially went up very nicely. It's come down, kind of gone sideways, was up earlier today. Excuse me, and down slightly today, but still profitable on the trade. AEM, Glenn. Look at Glenn today, everybody. Glenn bought Eagle Mining Company, bought it here at 63.15. Little nice pullback into the value zone. Always a good idea if You know, better than not, I like to buy in the value zone. I like to buy at value, sell above value. Buy under value, sell in value. But here, when we're above value, coming into value, instead of buying up here, and he got a great price here at 63.15, and this thing has just gone straight up. It was gap down, reversal back up. Looks like we have earnings tomorrow. Glenn, in case you're not aware of that, we are at a 75.10 RSI. We are holding above the 70, so we haven't gone parabolic. So very, very nice trade, Glenn. Okay, Kamal did buy Goldman Sachs yesterday. He bought the intraday V1. He bought it at 202 and it's 202.04. So he's up 4 cents on the trade. I too am looking to buy Goldman Sachs if we can get above the 200 day. So I think Kamal's stop on this was a close under the 50 if I remember correctly. So basically break even trade, a little profitable. CSX. All right. So Frank did buy CSX back here, 69.88, moved up nicely. He did take 70% of his profits off before earnings, which was a good idea. He left 30%, but he does have a trailing stop, and it has gone down and down and down ever since earnings have come out. So anyway, really glad to see that he took 70% of the profits before earnings. Gold, Gary. Every time I see gold, I think of Gary. Gary bought gold back here, 520 EMA crossover. It's a good back-tested approach. It doesn't win all the time. As a matter of fact, it loses, if I remember correctly, 70% of the time it loses, but those 30%ers can be monsters, and this has been a monster trade for Gary. I'm so happy for Gary. Look at this. This is a almost 11.5% trade on gold just by following the 520 crossover. But again, this doesn't always happen. It happens much fewer times than you have losses. But the losses, you know, that's the thing with the crossovers. They're designed to get you out quickly if you're wrong, and they're designed to keep you in on a big, huge move. This is unbelievable move here. It's an 85.98. 85.99 RSI. We're probably at about the 9th ATR channel. You don't see this very often, so congratulations, Gary. Just make sure you have a plan on how you're going to handle that trade. You don't want to give that all back. RBA Glenn bought Ritchie Brother Auctioneers here at 44.60. Right now we're at 44.49, so down about 11 cents on the trade. Not too bad. Has lost the 70 RSI and is under the negative 3rd ATR channel. XLRE, okay, we already talked about this. Gary, Quad, Kamal, and myself did buy with the bullish engulfing bar V1. Was glad that we triggered the fractal today, and I think that's what gave the boost. And again, hit 3 profit targets here today. My trailing stop now on this trade will be a close under the 200 day. If it happened today, I would also do it. Berkshire Hathaway, Brian did buy Berkshire back here on the 21st. He bought it at 190.49, has moved up nicely, had a day down, gap down, and reversed back up strongly. So very nice, nice trade. EXP, okay, now who had this? Evan had this. All right. He bought the V1 back in the value zone, bought it at 84.50. It's 84.35. It's down 15 cents. It was up earlier. It looks like it did reject the 50 RSI. So, you know, one option would be to take that off today because it already rejected the 50 RSI. But it just depends what Evan's trade plan was going into it. Maybe his trade plan was holding it until we get a close below halfway of the washout bar. Not sure. But anyway, glad to see that's almost break even. And then space, dang it. I saw this up earlier for Karen when I first this morning, and I looked at it. I know that Karen bought Virgin Galactic at 24.16 intraday. And I think her intraday trade held, and so she held it overnight. It was up nicely earlier, but again, it got up to that 3rd ATR channel, and that was it. So right, just slightly down on the trade, but it's always frustrating because there was a really nice profit in there earlier. So yeah, that's how it goes sometimes, huh? Okay. Glenn is here. Hey, buddy. Talked about your trades. Nice trade on that mining company. Gary M says, gold is a monster. More stimulus equals higher gold. That is true. Good to see you, Gary M. Congratulations on that trade. Glenn says, we'll be taking profits on AEM with Fed announcement tomorrow. Yeah, that's most likely going to move the market fairly strongly, I would imagine. So, that's probably a pretty prudent thing to do. And earnings. Right. Exactly. Brian M says, SHW currently have a stop at 633. Okay, so you're a couple dollars away from it. Good to know. Let me know if that triggers. Hey, Karen. Oh, good. Good. Karen, I saw Spice earlier in the day and it was green. I remember you had held it overnight. So you sold it at 25.20, which is, I'm running late on time, huh? Right about there. So very good. Okay, so it looks like you are out of that trade. So we'll take that one off the board. Gary M. up 13.41% on gold. We'll be out with the close below previous day's close for now. Fantastic, buddy. So glad to see you have that monster trade. Scott Trey says, some pot stocks are looking good here, Greg. IIPR came out of a squeeze. No position. Let's see. Yeah, I was looking at Tilray the other day. IIPR, that's correct, right? IIPR, yep. Yeah, big strong day today. MACD went positive. I think it went positive yesterday. For me, it's a little high for me to buy. I like to buy here in the value zone. I don't like to buy up near that second and third channel. Doesn't mean that those trades can't work, right? But that's just my preference. I'm not so much a momentum trader as I am a reversion to the mean trader, deep dip buy kind of trader. But this is the right one. In Innovative Industrial Properties. That's a pot stock? IIPR. Glenn says, thoughts on JBT? Thanks for that, though, Scott. Appreciate that. If you have any other ones we'd like to look at or you think would be interesting for us, please let me know. John Bean Technologies. Well, it's good that we got above the 200-day moving average. That's for sure. We're at 63.80. It's a little high for me to buy. We're getting close to that third ATR channel. But the nice thing about the 200-day moving average compared to like a crossover is you know exactly where that line in the sand is going to be. So, I would be more likely to take a trade this high with the 200-day because just boom, one close right below, then that's it. I know exactly where I'm at. And I've noticed some of these higher moves over the 200-day moving average at higher levels, a lot of them hold and go. I'm not saying this one will, but at least this, it's obviously, we broke out here. We broke out over the 200. MACD's positive. Let's look at the weekly. Ooh, look at the confluence on the weekly though. On the weekly, see the resistance of the 200-day moving average right above us? So that would give me some pause. If we could break over that, then that's fantastic. But right now, it still has to deal with that 50 and the 100 and the 200. So there's a lot of confluence of resistance above it on the weekly at the moment. Something to keep in mind. Okay, boy, I'm running late today. So listen, before we get on to end-of-day candidates, I do kind of want to switch gears real quick and talk about our trading mind, trading psychology, good trading words of wisdom, trading philosophy. There's a lot of great channels out there on Twitter and Facebook that are nice enough to post good sayings for us to read and learn and hopefully internalize like Scott Trades did. I think I've done a couple Scott Trades posts because they were so good. But today, Trading Composure on Twitter, great channel. Also, really gets deep into the psychology of trading. It's very he understands how important it is. It's a great channel at Trading Composure, or just type in Trading Composure on Twitter. 5 rules here. First rule of trading: wait for the right opportunity. Talk about it all the time, right? One of our main advantages as retail traders is being able to sit on our hands and wait, right? That's our biggest edge. Large financial institutions, they have order flow. They can't just sit around and sit around and sit around. They have order flow. That is our number one advantage. We don't have the technology. We don't have the information and the people and the money. But what we do have is we are not required to buy unless we get a strike or a nice pitch thrown right across the plate. So, this is your largest edge. Use it. Wait for the right opportunity. Number 2, second rule of trading, accept what the market gives. Boy, is this true. The market's going to give you what it gives you. And if you try to force it, I'll tell you what, when I was in my 20s, when I first started trading, and I was trading with a lot of money, and I would tell my girlfriend, okay, so look, if I make 10 grand this week, we'll go to Hawaii. Well, what do you think happened? I never made it because I was trying to force it. I mean, if you're starting to trade right now, just please believe me, people that have been out there trading, they understand this. If you're trying to force something, you're not going to get it. If you're trying to go fishing and trying to force something onto your hook, not going to happen, right? You just sit back, kick back. Every once in a while, something's going to get on your hook, and the market will give you what it wants to give you when it wants to give you, but not on your time. Third rule of trading, understand what you're risking. This is very important. I'm not sure if people really understand what they're risking. I've mentioned this before, and sorry to go over this again, but with a lot of my students, when it comes to money management and position sizes, I say the first thing you have to do is decide what's your maximum allowable risk. And a lot of people say, oh, it's 1,000 or it's 500. And then, of course, we take the 2 ATR value, divide it into that, and tells how many shares we have. It's a good rule of thumb, 1% of your trading capital, maximum loss. That's actually a little high for me. I'm more around the 0.25% to 0.5% because I'm not fearless. I'm conservative, right? But what I found is that most of my students, if they tell me it's $1,000 a loss, it really should be 500. If they say it's 500, it really should be 250. Remember, maximum allowable loss. If you're totally acceptable with that loss, then what can go wrong? It can only go right. If you're really willing to accept that your maximum loss, then if it happens, you should be okay with it. But don't get into the position where you pick a maximum loss that's larger than you really emotionally can deal with. So really understand what you're risking. Accept what the market takes. Market gives, market takes. We understand this. Just like we have to accept what the market gives us, and when it gives us, it's going to take it as well. That's just part of it, right? It's just part of it. It was like me today with the VIX. I always know that I'm going a little on tilt when I had that middle VIX trade today, when I start talking out loud or talking to the screen. I'm sure I'm not the only one that does that, although I can't see Steve Burns doing that. I don't know. Maybe he does. Steve, I can't see you yelling and screaming at your screen. Maybe you do, but I'm beneath that. So yes, I do yell, scream, swear, mutter comments under my breath. And number 5th rule, make your trading process your whole world. Not 100% sure what trading composure means here, but I'm just going to take this as, this is your process. Do exactly what these first 4 rules, accept, understand, wait, right? And just make that your entire trading process and don't deviate from it. So thank you, Trading Composure. That was very helpful. It was helpful for me. I hope it's helpful for everyone else as well. Steve Burns says, biotech IBB getting close to a 530 EMA crossover under retest. Oh, thanks for that, Steve. Let's see, 530. Do I have a 530 over here? There's a 1030. There's a 520. Darn, I don't have one, and I don't think I have enough time. Oh, yeah, there we go. There it is. 530 EMA, right? 530 EMA. And here's IBB. Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's not close to crossing back over. It's close to crossing back under. Correct, Steve? Scott's Trade says, LOL, I bet Steve is as cool as a cucumber. You know he is, right? Steve says, that was the days talking to the screen. Very true tilt clue. I have been there, much better at it in the past decade. I'm sure. Prayer is another sign of a trader is on tilt. You know, when I used to live in Las Vegas, I knew a professional gambler from Israel. And he told me, he said, you know where people pray more than any church in the world? And I said, where? He goes, in front of their trading screens and in front of and while they're in the casino. It's true. I don't think I've honestly ever, prayed that a stock would go up. I feel like it'd be sacrilegious. I don't know. That's true, though. Alan C., hello. Hey, Alan, good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for coming. Hope you're having a nice day. All right, let's real quick, let me take a look at my current positions. All right, Futu did not hit a profit target, but it is up today, so I will take that. SPY, had the overnight SPY loss, but it looks like I am going to get a little discount on this today. XLRE, big, nice trade today. Like I said, 3 profit targets. If it closes under the 200, that's my trailing stop. So if it closed under there today, I would get out. FAS, Steve, Frank, Miko, Kamal, and myself are all hanging in there. It's up 0.5%, which I will take it on a day like today. So relative strength is pretty good. Apple, okay. These were day trades. VIX. Oh, man. The VIX. You just know what's going to happen sometimes, right? Like I got out, I erased them, but I got out and I was like, okay, I got to do the podcast. And this thing went taking off like crazy, man. That's how it goes. VIX and I have an interesting relationship. All right. Almost cross under, Steve says. Okay. All right, good. So Karen wants to look at Shack. Is that Shake Shack? Well, look, we were below the value zone. We were below the -1 ATR channel. We came up into the value zone. We tried to close above. We never quite got it. So a higher low V2 here would be valid even without a lot of the sideways motion. But right now there is no V2. Here's bar 1. Bar 2 did wash out bar 1. Bar 3 has not closed above bar 1's close. So I would not, me personally, get involved in Shake Shack here unless it triggered a V1, which would be a close over 51.83 for the way that I trade, right? You may have another approach that might be just as valid, but me looking at this, I would need this, and it did reject the 50 RSI as well. It's 49.04. All right. Well, I've been gabbing up a storm, haven't I? Let me take a little looky-see over here. Whoa. I managed an account for a friend, and he does have VIX, and so he got that full move up. So congratulations to Dr. Bruce, my buddy, if he's listening. All right, here we go. Here's some potentials. Like I said, Kamal's scanner that he programmed did kick these out. He looks for confluence of signals, takes all the signals, adds them all up, right? But even if it has a really high score, it still doesn't mean it's a valid trade. We have to look at it with the human eye, and we have to look at the context. Okay, so this is a V2 with a false breakout to the downside. Here's the previous low. Yesterday we broke that low. Today we back up in the old range. We also did have a V2. This bar here concerns me a little bit because it's larger than 1 ATR. We're at a 37.87. We went under, I think yesterday was under 30. No, Well, yes, actually, it was intraday. This one is a potential. MACD did go positive, so that adds a few extra bonus points. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly did have a V1 as well. It has the 1 ATR channel as resistance above it. This one's okay. I like the under 30, over 30, the V2, the false breakout. MACD's going positive. That one's definitely a possibility. NTES, you know, I don't think I would go for this one. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We didn't close under the value zone. So we've really only had 1 day sidewards. This was looking better earlier when it was a V1. It's now untriggered the V1, rejected the 10 and the 5. Yeah, I don't like that one as much. Put that one over there. Box, $17 stock. Earlier, it did reject the negative third ATR channel. Remember, 92% of prices do hold there. Earlier today, it did trigger a V2, but it is now untriggered. Cody. I'll never forget. Kamal told me about Cody. He goes, what do you think of Cody here? And I was like, it's a $4 stock. I don't really like it. Next day it was up like 18% or something. Something ridiculous. V2, false breakout to the downside. Did reject the 10 and the 20. I like VGR better from a risk to reward standpoint. DAL. All right, so false breakout to the downside and V2. Back in the value zone. Not too bad. It's off of its high. I don't know if it quite gives the right risk reward. MACD is negative. Weekly's okay. It's in the value zone, but I just, you know, with the announcements and everything tomorrow, I think I'm just going to pass on this one as well. GoDaddy. Whoa, GoDaddy did not go. I was looking at this if it closed above the 200-day, but it lost the 200-day, and so that one is definitely gone. Manta. Don't really see anything on Manta either. BJK. It's a V1. It's back in the value zone, but I still like VGR better. NTCO. Just too high for me to buy up here. It's near the third ATR channel. Remember, 92% of prices fail here. Doesn't mean they all do. Look at gold. Gold laughed at the third ATR channel, but you know, that's an unusual case. So no, I don't see anything here. ANAB. No, I don't see anything there also. Maybe down here, if we get down to the 200-day moving average and the negative third ATR channel, that might be a nice confluence. LVS, which is Las Vegas Sands. So it looks like we have false breakout to the downside. From here, we have a double bottom with a bullish divergence. MACD very deep here, not as deep here. Waiting for the entry point. They're waiting for the trigger. The trigger would have to have been the V2 at the very least, and it looks like it has untriggered. It is below yesterday's, or 2 days ago's close. Here's bar 1, 2, 3. Bar 2 goes under bar 1. Bar 3 did trigger the V2 intraday, but now it's untriggered and it's lost the negative 1 ATR channel. Win is another stock like this. This one is better, but you know, this did close above the 1 ATR channel. Just down, 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 down. No sideways movement whatsoever. It did reject the negative 1 ATR channel, which is positive. It did trigger the V2, but there was no sideways motion whatsoever here. It is a higher low in that respect, but higher lows happen when you go below the 1 ATR channel into the value zone, come back higher low. This one changes because we're above the 1 ATR channel, so a return to value, you need some sideways movement. So I'm going to let that one go. AT&T V2 bar 1, 2, 3, rejection of the negative 1 ATR channel. V1 bar 1's bar was larger than 1 ATR, so I'm going to let that one go. REKR, I don't see anything on that per se. W, this is probably one of the, other than VGR, this isn't bad. This is a legitimate higher low V2, nice washout V2. Looks like MACD just went positive. That is definitely on the short list there. Okay, and we looked at all those. So for me, what do we have? 9 minutes. Real quick, let me just take a look at my current position, see if there's anything I need to do here. FUTU is fine. SPY, I'm definitely getting a sale price on the overnight SPY trade. XLRE, oh, so close to under the 200. Would someone please watch that and mention to me if it closes under the 200? If I'm looking at other stuff. If this closes under the 200, I'm going to exit this for sure. FAST went negative on the day, but still fine. Nothing I have to do there. Okay. So, Victor Group. I like WBA. It is a false breakout to the downside. This big bar scares me. I will take a V1 or a V2 if we have a false breakout to the downside and everything else, but MACD's positive. Still have the resistance. Yeah. My gut tells me that if I'm going to go with anything today, it is going to be WBA. It is up today. It has good relative strength. False breakout to the downside, V2, MACD just went positive. Not as good risk to reward ratio. Let me take a look at this over on the fractal chart and see how this looks. I do like the fractal. I mean, the alligator is sleeping. We are moving sideways, and very similar to the XLRE trade. I took the XLRE trade yesterday based upon a V1, but then, I think if you remember, I was looking forward to another group triggering that fractal, and it's exactly what happened. So please, somebody watch XLRE for me, and if it does close, please let me know. Close below the 200. So right now, I'm watching XLRE. If it closes under the 200, I'm going to get out. Let's see, the close here, 40.51. So as long as it closes above 40.51, I will go ahead and buy Walgreens at the end of the day. And again, I'm going to take my maximum risk, which is for me about 0.5% of my trading capital. I'm going to divide it by the value of the 2 ATR, 277. So let's just say, let's say I was willing to risk $2,000 on this trade, right? So I take $2,000, divide it by 277, and it would tell me to buy 722 shares. And that's nice because that's, the 2 ATRs helps you adjust for volatility. It does it automatically. So if there's big swings, the volatility is greater, it's going to tell you to buy fewer amount of shares. All right, so I'm going to have to watch that one carefully. And XLRE, oh, so close. 35.87, that's exactly where it is. So let me put this here so I know exactly. All right, so we have about 4 minutes. How's everybody feeling out there? Evan says, EXC thoughts. And sometimes, guys, if I don't get to your questions, it's because I have different screens up, so I literally don't see them until I switch back. Exelon. Well, it's a V2, but see the big bar here, Evan? If I found one thing with all my students that's a common thread, is that that could be improvement. And I was the exact same way when I started. Be really diligent about how big that first bar is. That's a major, major thing. So, tighten it up, get more picky and more picky about that day one bar. And so anyway, hope that helps. Brian's out of SHW. Okay, good. Brian, if you could, would you remind me of that at the end? Kamal says XLRE just went below 200. Okay, good to know. What do we have it out there? 35.87 right now. It's 35.89. Gary says, still having trouble with my 200 SMA with XLRE. I'm showing 36.36. Anyone else show that? And I'm showing 35.87. Let me make sure this is adjusted for dividends here. Yeah, mine's adjusted for dividends. I don't know what that is, but like I've said before, Gary, stick with what you have, right? Stick with what you have and you're showing on your screen. Gary says using Thinkorswim. Glenn says buying more bonds. Oh, interesting. Do I even want to look at VIX? Should I do it? There you go. How about that? Ah! Okay. Kamal says, I show that TradingView does not change with adjusted for dividend. Okay. Well, I'm glad Kamal shows. I wonder if I switch mine. Oh, I don't have enough time. Okay. WBA does look like it's going to hold. All right, I am going to buy WBA here. Okay, an XLRE. I've got to turn my attention to XLRE now. 35.87. Let me write that right here so I don't. And again, if your show's different, stick with what your show. Sometimes mine's going to work better. Sometimes yours is going to work better. It all works out in the end. 35.87, and right now we're 35.87. 35.88. Oh, looks like we might close on our low here. Is Walgreens going to hold for me? I think so. All right. It's right there, isn't it? 35.89. It's holding. 1 minute here. I'll do my best. If it, if it closes under and I didn't get out, that's what happens. If I get out and it closes over, that's what happens. But anyway, still really grateful for that day, and nice. I'm glad that I hit that profit target right near the top. I think that's going to hold. I think it's going to hold. And it held. Okay. That was good, I guess. You know, I do have some puts, and I've sold some bearish credit spreads, and every single day I'll have a nice profit in my account, and then the market will close, and of course the bid and the ask will change on the options. And like for the last week, it's like I've had this nice profit, and then it closes, and like half my profit's gone because of the bid ask. Today, it like almost doubled my profit at the close. So I'm glad to know it works the other way as well. Okay. Wow. What a day. What a day. So did hold Futu. It was up. I'm grateful for that. Let's take a look. See where I bought. Well, let's see. Before we get to that, real quick, hope it's okay with you. Just want to do my daily plug and just remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one trading lessons, mentoring lessons, and teaching. I love to teach. I've been trading for over 24 years. I've studied with one-on-one with some of the best traders and authors that out there that I know, like our friend Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams. And the course that I teach is 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours, total of 15 hours, and I teach you everything I've learned from all 4 of these gentlemen. And traders and authors, and everything I've learned over those years. I think it's a really good course. It is $1,000. I think it's worth every single penny. In my opinion, the very best way to learn is one-on-one, and not just for an hour, right? But for many, many, many hours, because you have questions, and it's nice if your teacher's right there. I just started with a new client yesterday, Marcus. We had a really good first lesson. So Marcus, if you're out there today, that was really good. I think you did really well, and I'm looking forward to our lesson on Thursday. But if you're interested in taking the course with me, I know you're going to like it. It's hard, right? I mean, I ask a lot of you. You don't just sit there and listen to me. I ask a lot of questions. Do you understand this? Explain it to me. I throw a lot of curveballs at you. We do lots of chart study. The first part of each lesson, I teach what I'm teaching that day. The second part, I basically have you teach it back to me. We combine it as we go. But one of the best ways, look, even if you don't take my class, just for yourself, go through charts, like right here. Like, I don't know if you can do this with your platform, but I go through here day by day. Oh, 68.39. This probably would be a good place to get out. It lost the 70 RSI. Oh, nope, I was wrong on that trade, right? Oh, eventually it was right. But I just go through. I used to do this for hours, looking for the next trade, looking for the next trade, looking for the next trade. This is a lot what we do in my class. So, if you've been thinking about it, please reach out to me. You can send me an email. My email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a direct message on Twitter, at Gossett Trading on Twitter. And if you do contact me, I'll say, hey, how's it going? Let's set up a Skype call. The Skype call is totally free. There's no obligation. I'm not going to ask you to make a decision to take the trade or not. It's just a good opportunity for me to ask you some questions about your experience and your goals and your challenges. It's a good opportunity for you to ask me specific questions about the course, and then when we're done, I'll go, hey man, nice talking to you. Think about it. If you're interested in taking the class, just email me or message me back and we'll get it set up. So there's no obligation, and in the worst case, you don't take the class, no problem whatsoever. And it's nice to at least put somebody's face with their name. So if you're interested, if you're thinking about it, reach out to me and we'll at least get that Skype call done. And then secondly, if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help grow the channel. A lot of people out there could use some good mentoring and teaching and learning about good trading principles. I know they could. I talk to these people all the time. And I think if we can get them here, or other classes, other channels as well, right? Just as long as people are teaching some good principles, it's going to help people. Dave Lincoln from the Short Vol show. He's interviewed me. I've interviewed him. He drops in the chat sometimes. I was listening to his show the other day. He specializes on VIX, and he was talking about, he said, you know, a lot of people always discount the retail traders like they're always wrong. And it was nice because he gave me a little plug, and he said, look, he says, I wouldn't discount the retail traders as much as people used to, because there's a lot of channels out there like Gossett Trading and Mentoring and other ones where professional traders are teaching retail traders the correct way to trade. And that's what's happening. It's like with poker. When poker first started to get big, so many people were playing poker. They really had no idea. But after a while, they got better. And I think the retail traders are getting better, looking at position sizing, risk to reward, all that stuff. Anyway, I kind of went off on a tangent, but I was talking about, if you have a couple seconds, if you could hit the thumbs up button before, I would really appreciate it. Okay, so let me take a look and see where I got filled today. So WBA, I got filled at 40.69. And where's my SPY trade? There it is. SPY trade 321.17. Okay, so WBA, I got filled at 40.69. It's at 40.68 at the moment. Okay, that one's taken care of. And SPY did get a little discount on that one for sure. 321.17. Bam. Okay, so listen, if anybody has any questions or if they have any updates for me as far as their positions, this would be the time to do it. So let me know. Bum, bum, bum. Evan closed EXP with close under 50 RSI. EXPE. Good call, Evan, in my opinion. V1 to the downside, rejected the 50. That was, in my opinion, the right move. It might go up tomorrow, but given what you were given here today, I think that is the right move. Okay. Gary with WBA. Gary M. Karen also has WBA. Okay. Kamal got out of Goldman Sachs. Good. Glad you followed your plan. Your initial plan was getting out under the 50. I recall you telling me, so I'm glad to hear that. Kamal. Gary took some profits on GLD, sold 15%. Nice. Nothing wrong with taking a little profit there for sure, especially on a monster move like that. Very nice. Brian M. out of Sherwin-Williams. Okay. At 632.66. Perfect. You bought it at 627.97. So nice trade there. Brian bought SPY at 321.62. Is that the overnight SPY trade? Or did you just buy it? All right, so we'll put Brian M over there, and we will put this a different color so we don't get it messed up. Let's see. How about a nice blue? to match your name. Glenn says, took profits on AEM with rejection of third ATR. Oh, mine shows rejection of the fourth ATR up here, but earnings are tomorrow anyway. I don't know if they're in the morning or the afternoon, but okay, good. Beautiful, beautiful trade. We don't want to get, too greedy about it, right? That was a fantastic trade. That's one of the best trades I've seen in a while. Quad says, out of XLRE, Greg. Okay. All right, so we're going to take Quad off of there and put him back over here. All right, good. Gary says, have a great day, everyone. You too, Gary. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Dan is in WBA. Okay. Yeah, I do like WBA. I mean, obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with it. It could go down, but I like the red to the green. I like the V1. I like the false breakout to the downside. I like the MACD crossover. And on a day like today, I like the relative strength. It was up 2% on a pretty red day. Brian says, just bought. Okay. Woo! Well, wow. Good day. I mean, it was a good day overall. What's happening in the after hours market? Oh, Apple's up 84 cents. Futu on change. IWM up a little bit. SPY's up 18 cents. WBA is even. XLRE is even. So I bet the VIX is down, right? Yeah, it's down 10 cents. Any earnings today of note? Starbucks swings to a loss as cafe closures, pandemic cost weigh on profits. What is Starbucks? SBUX? Well, they're up 2% after hours, so couldn't be that bad. Oh, what's today? Tuesday? Oh, AMD is going to have earnings today. That should be interesting. We'll see what happens there. And Visa. Dexcom, Amgen. Visa's down $2 after hours. Steve just posted something on Twitter. Signs a trader may be on tilt. Talking to the chart, guilty. Mad at the price action, guilty. Thinking the market is stupid, not guilty of that, but I know that does happen. Disagree with what's happening, I don't do that. Stubborn to stay in a loss, I don't do that. Breaking things, it could have happened in my younger days. Cursing, yes, that happens. Crying, sometimes. Prayer, no. That's great post, Steve. That's a great post. We've got to do that one maybe tomorrow. Quad says, Garmin had a ransomware attack and was down 4 days. Thought about shorting them and decided against it. Thankful I didn't because they actually went up. Oh, interesting. I had a friend that was telling me about that yesterday. Whoa. Look at that. This is one of those examples, everybody, where this is extremely bullish bar, but the risk to reward just doesn't make sense. False breakout to the downside, V1, bullish engulfing, but the risk to reward doesn't make sense. Marcus, if you're listening, last night we were talking about Fibonacci areas, and with the big bar up like this, there's nothing wrong and does not negate the bullishness of the chart. Even if it comes back to 50% and holds, even if today did this, it wouldn't change the integrity of the chart. All it would do is give you a better risk to reward, right? Because here your risk is from here all the way down to here. If you buy here, there's nothing wrong with the integrity of your chart, and a close below here gives you a much better, smaller risk to the downside, a much bigger move to the upside. So whenever I see big bars like this, I like to wait for pullbacks and try to get a little bit better risk to reward. Quad says, my wife switched to Apple Watch during it. Oh, interesting. Marcus Glass, I am listening. Oh, good, Marcus. Good. Does this make sense with the big up bar? It's a big up bar, definitely larger than 1 ATR, right, Marcus? I would wait for some kind of pullback if it holds 50%. If it loses 50%, then that would concern me. But what I'd really like to see, honestly, is a big up bar like this, come back down halfway, then look for a V1, V2 to get me into the trade. So anyway, good class last night, Marcus. I think you did really well. And I'm looking forward to our next one. Okay. Well, really great day today. Very happy for that. Oh, look, AMD's up 2.88. It's up 4%, over 4%. So looks like AMD had decent earnings. Visa's down $1. You know what I've noticed with earnings lately though is they've been decent. They've beat expectations, but they've gotten sold into after the bounce. Not that that always has to happen, but let's see what's Intel doing. Is it going along for the ride at all? No, it's not. Okay. So listen, any other questions, any comments, any jokes, any haikus? If you have any questions, anything I can help anybody with, just please let me know. Quad says, Intel plummeted today. Not sure if you talked about it today as I was on and off the live stream with work being busy. I took a trade at Intel. I did take a long on Intel that worked out. Dan says, Kamal, ATR greater than 1 would be a great indicator to code. Oh, that's on there, Dan. That's already in the scanner, plus a lot more. Kamal actually programmed in, I'm not sure how, but Kamal's super smart. But he also coded into that scanner relative strength. Can you imagine that? He's got so many things in there you wouldn't even believe it, Dan. But yeah, greater than 1 ATR is already in the scanner. I mean, this program that Kamal has is unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's crazy because it's taken everything that I've learned over 24 years and put it into code. That being said, it still needs the human eye to take a look at it and do risk to rewards and so forth and things like that. Maybe in the future with the scanner, I'm not sure how we'd do it, but Kamal's smart, so he could probably figure it out, is by, setting some kind of parameters that would, how should I say? That it would let you know if it was a good risk to reward, or add points to it, or define it somehow that the risk to reward was more than 2 to 1. Kamal says, I have LSVS, Cody, and WBA on my short list. What does that mean, Kamal, on your short list? Because I have you in WBA already. Is that not correct? Hey, my magpies are back. I was throwing I throw food out for them every day. Yesterday they weren't here. I was worried about them. I thought, what, are they on vacation? They're taking their summer vacation. They must be different parts of the neighborhood, but they missed me, so they came back. They missed their dog food, is what's happening. All right, so kind of a little recap. Bought overnight SPY at 321.17. XLRE, beautiful day on that. And on my chart, it did close above the 200-day. Hit the 3 profit targets. Very happy for that. So we'll see where this leads us. But again, if it closes below the 200, I am out of there. FAS, 520 crossover. The price is still above the 5 and the 20. If we close below the previous day's low, I will get out of half because it moved more than 1 ATR for my entry. I will get out of another half if the price closes below both the 5 and the 20, and I will get out of the remaining if the 5 actually crosses under the 20. But that one is still positive. USO still positive. Bought it down here at 28.40. It's at 29.34. WBA was the new entry today. The false breakout to the downside. Nice V2. Rejection of the 1 ATR channel. MACD crossing over. I like that. Looks like a bunch of us are in that. Hopefully that will go well. Futu was kind enough to at least give us 1 penny profit on there. So strong, relatively strong. And then VIX. I'm not talking to VIX right now. Kamal says WBA is correct. Before you go through the candidates, I made a short list which was WBA, Cody, and LVS. End of the day, I picked WBA. Perfect. We're on the same page, Kamal. That's great. That is really good. Kamal says, Dan, I have a rejection and support of the -1 ATR. Dan says, Anna Cooling sells one, but she does not work on Thinkorswim, or I would buy it. I have been trying to figure it out for Thinkorswim. Kamal says, Dan, for the V1, V2s, I have the signal for the first bar being greater than 1 ATR. Yeah, that's one of the first things we talked about, I believe, right? Okay. Whoa, now AMD's up 8%. And Visa is down 1%. All right, well, listen, I am going to go hiking. It's a beautiful day. Looking forward to getting up there. Maybe listen to a podcast or something while I'm out huffing and puffing around up there. I hope everybody has a good rest of your day. Please go out and try to do something nice for somebody today, just a smile or a wave, or try to help them out one way or the other. Just some kind of little nice act of kindness. This world needs it. We all need it right now more than ever. And I think the world would be a much better place if we just made a point to do one nice thing, at least one nice thing each day for a human and an animal, if I could request that as well, right? If you enjoyed today's live stream, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button before you click on out of here. That would be nice. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I don't know if you're all subscribed or not, but if you haven't subscribed, please do that and share it too. I'm asking a lot today, right? Dan says, Kamal, brilliant. I hope a Thinkorswim indicator to see days volume percentage, hoping to use this as a basis for ATR. Can you not use it? I know you have ATR channels, Dan. on Thinkorswim. I know that because I have many students that that have it, but they're under Keltner channels in Thinkorswim. They're under Keltner channel indicator, and you have to put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then put a negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the downside as well. Okie dokie. Well, thank you all for coming. Have a good day. Be safe. Be good. Do something nice. And what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Wednesday. So should be an interesting day. I think the Fed speaks tomorrow. Then we have earnings. We have Apple earnings. When are Apple's earnings? Apple's earnings are on the 30th, which is Thursday. And Amazon's earnings are, when are Amazon's earning? I think they're on the 30th as well. So, okay, well, that's a wrap. Good day today. Some of you had some nice trades. Glad to see that. And take care of yourself, huh? And I'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully, during the last hour of the market. Take care, everybody. Thanks again for coming. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.